The reason why you're not fulfilled is because you are not going towards your calling that you've been giving. You're not listening to the inner voice that you have, that intuition that is pulling you in a certain direction. You're going against that. You're listening to everybody else but that inner voice inside of you. All right. Today on the show, we have a bunch of tips that's going to help you get your mind right, get you thinking differently, which is going to help you attract the things that you want in your life. All right. It all starts with your mindset, your thinking, and you're going to have to do a self-assessment in regards to what you are thinking about on a daily basis. Because if you are not thinking the right things and taking the right action or any type of action, you will not see results in your life. All right. Welcome back to another show of Marcel Hyde Mindset. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. And if you are finding any type of value from these videos that I do produce on a weekly basis, make sure you share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker, just someone that needs to hear this information and this knowledge and this wisdom that I'm sharing on my YouTube channel. All right. And remember, stay all the way to the end so you can get all the tips that I drop on this show and you don't miss a single thing. All right. So grab your notebook and your pen and take some notes. All right. First off, I want to get into the fact that there's a New York Knicks versus San Antonio Spurs NBA championship. And props to both teams for getting that far to the championship. And I just kind of want to break down, and I want you to think about this yourself, what it actually takes to be a champion. What do you think both of those teams had to do to get to that championship game? Do you think they had to make sacrifices? Yes. Do you think they had to be together? Yes. Do you think they had to communicate well? Yes. Do you think they had to be disciplined? Yes. Do you think they had to be individually working on themselves? Yes. So there's so many different things that you can look at why someone is successful, and all the tips are out there. All the clues are out there. You know it, but you're not actually applying it. And that's my first point. You know all the tips to success. You know what it takes to get to a higher level in your life, but you have to ask yourself that question. Are you actually doing what it takes to get yourself to a higher level? Or do you know all the books? Do you know all the quotes, but you're actually not taking the steps? You're actually not taking any action. Are you that individual that can go into a room and quote 10 different books, but your life is not where you want it to be? Are you someone that can quote 10 motivational quotes and you walk in a room and your physique is on point? Or you can quote 10 motivational quotes and you're in the career, the job that you want, right? That's the person that you want to be. You don't want to be someone that is just talking it, but not living it, talking it, but not taking the actions to get what you actually want. All right. And I also want to talk about, New York Knicks and San Antonio Spurs. Like, I'm going to be on that topic a lot because it's relatable to life. All right. And a lot of people support both teams. And I grew up playing basketball, so I support basketball as a sport in itself. But I also noticed that a lot of people in New York, I only saw a post in New York. I'm not sure what's going on in San Antonio, but some people that were wearing San Antonio jerseys in New York were getting attacked by people from New York, from the New York team. And my thing is, take that passion, that you're that passionate about a team that doesn't probably know your name, a team that is not paying your bills, a team that is not checking in on you or checking up on you, a team that is not concerned about your health or your well-being, and you're actually going out there and harming other people because they're wearing the opposing team's jersey. So you actually have to reevaluate your life if you're someone that's doing that. But at the same time, my message in that is, if you could take the same energy that you pour into these teams, these sports teams, like you have this passion, everyone says, this is my team. And that's fine, because I have a bunch of teams that I love to watch play basketball mainly. But I also know that if I'm pouring this amount of energy and effort into this team, then I better be pouring triple the amount into my own life, right? So if you're someone that is pouring everything into athletics, into a sport team, and they haven't signed one of your checks, they haven't paid any of your bills, they haven't actually phoned you and said, how are you doing, or how can I help you? Then you need to reassess, your priorities. You need to reassess, some of the things that you're putting your energy towards or giving your effort to, or you're extending yourself to, because you're actually missing out in building your own life. And sometimes we use those things as an escape, right? We use sports as something we can escape to, right? Because we could turn off our brain. We don't have to continuously think. And I think it's a great thing to not always be thinking. I don't think it's healthy to constantly be thinking from the minute to be studying and reading and researching every single second of the day. I think it's healthy for us to have that downtime for every single individual. I feel like sleep is important in terms of assisting you with your long-term health. I feel like sleep is very vital in helping you with, optimal thinking throughout the day. I think sleep helps you with your energy. I think sleep helps you with your mood. Sleep helps with your mental health. So I strongly believe in getting sleep as well too. And I believe in downtime. I believe in rest. I believe in just kind of turning your brain off and not always researching and reading and thinking and having your mind racing, or always being looking for the next dopamine hit, right? That's not always healthy for your nervous system. So I do believe in watching sports, but I also don't believe that we should be watching sports and being obsessed with these players and be obsessed with the coaches and obsessed with the plays and who's playing this night, that night, if we don't have our life in order. We have to start prioritizing our own life, right? We have to be the star of our life. Like, we're making these guys stars, like we're looking at them as stars, but our own life is upside down. We don't have our life together. So we have to pivot into focusing on how we could build our own life, how we could build ourselves up, maybe not to be an NBA player, NHL player, WNBA player, but to be a star in our work environment, to be at the top of our workplace, to get the highest level in our workplace. And you have to ask yourself this question: what does it take to get to that level? And it takes a lot of energy and effort figuring out your life, right? There's not a lot of people that could put no effort into their life and then it just gets figured out, right? It'd be nice if that's the case, but you have to do research in your life. You have to try different things and see if that's what you like. You have to fail and realize that, you know what, either this is for me, or fail and go with a different strategy, right? So you have to be going through that in your life. But if we're giving all our energy and effort to things that are not in our own life, but outside of our life, and things that don't directly impact our life, then we have to assess ourselves and be like, okay, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I feel like it's filling a void in my life? Am I doing this because I want to escape my own life and not think about my own life? So we have to ask ourselves these questions. And, I always come on here and talk about like mindset and leadership and, becoming the best version of yourself, because I believe, to really feel fulfilled as a human being, because a lot of people do not feel fulfilled, because I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis and they're just not fulfilled, right? They're not in the career they want. They're not earning the income they want. They're not in the best physical condition that they can be in, right? They're just going through the motions of life, right? And that will definitely have you feeling maybe nihilistic. It might have you feeling depressed, right? So the goal of this channel is not to make you feel like that. My goal is to help you move towards, feeling fulfilled, move you towards your purpose and your calling and, what you're meant to do on this earth and what you feel called to do. So if you're someone watching this video and you're feeling lost, right? You're feeling like you don't know what you want to do with your life, write down some things that you're passionate about. That's where I would start. Write down some things that really light you up. Write down some things that make you feel good when you do it, right? And in today's world, in today's generation, you can make money doing almost anything, right? Maybe 60, 70 years ago, when we didn't have the internet, when we didn't have social media, you couldn't do what you really wanted to do, right? You couldn't do everything you wanted to do. You had to pick a certain career or job. But now it's just like you have people that love playing video games, and now they're, making money from just playing video games on stream, right? We have people that love dogs and now they've become a dog walker, right? Or you have people that just love creating content and promoting products, and now they're able to promote products full time, right? So now there's more opportunity with the internet in terms of like deciding that this is what I want to do, and I'm going to spend time moving towards that, right? To feel fulfilled. So if that's you and I'm talking to you today, start today, right? Start by posting that first video. Start by writing down, a plan, a strategy. Stop waiting, right? I don't know what you're waiting for. Time will pass you by. right? Everybody has the same amount of time, and you see people in higher levels or higher positions. You're like, how did they get there? Well, they had the same amount of time as you, right? They had the exact same amount of time with you. The difference is what they did with their time versus you. They did their best to figure out what they want to do with their life. They had a strategy in regards to where they want to go in their life. They didn't just blindly go through life or close their eyes and say, just take me wherever. No, they were intentional. Most people that are successful are very intentional. They're not people who had no intention of being successful. I don't know anyone who I've ever spoken to, and maybe you do, but I don't know anyone who was not intentional about their life who became successful. They knew that they had to be intentional. They knew that they had to be disciplined, focused, committed, dedicated. They had to study, had to gain the knowledge, maybe to get some mentors. Right? There's no one out there that just casually got to where they wanted to get to. It took a lot of grit, a lot of resilience, a lot of failures, a lot of days where they didn't think they were going to make it, but they made it, right? So I hope this is inspiring you to take some action in your life. I hope if you're someone for the first time coming across this video that, you've got some knowledge from this video. I always talk about mindset because mindset is my passion. Make sure you're taking time to develop your mindset. You can start with books. You can start by getting around people who have a certain mindset. You can also get into communities. You can get coaching. There's so many different ways that you can strengthen your mindset, right? You can challenge yourself by getting in the best shape of your life. That develops your mindset too, because you want to eat that cake. You want to have that sugary pop. You want to have that chips, but your goal is to lose that weight. Well, guess what? It's going to take a strong mind. So you'll develop your mind by rejecting those things. So there's certain ways to train your mind. All right. So make sure you guys are taking each and every day to grow a little bit and get a little bit better each and every day. If you found any type of value from this video, go and grab my ebook. My ebook link is in the bio. Keep developing, keep growing. And remember, mindset is everything. Peace and love. Until next time.